I got married this past Friday. It was a lot of preparation. 3 years of planning and organizing and dreaming, agonizing over every little detail, everything from the color of the buttons on my suit to the decorations on the tables, what kind of floral arrangements will be all around the room, the color and flavor of the cake, the arrangement of the seating, everything down to this hat. And the moment finally came, and I'm standing with the wedding party at the front of the procession line. Mazzy stars fade into you, echoes across the lawn. The wind is blowing a weeping willow. Big puffy white clouds and bright blue skies. It was beautiful. And I turned and looked at my mother, and she said, "I'm proud of you, son." And I turned and looked at my father, and he said, "I'd like to buy Park Place." I am smoking a lackluster bowl of Bayou Night in my Eric Nording. Yeah. Right here. It's a pretty sharp little pipe. I dig it. It's kind of nice. Months ago, I picked this stuff up and it was really funky out of the tin. Well, I didn't buy a tin of it. I bought it bulk. I bought it out of a jar. Anyways, it was a funky taste. And I gave it some time, and it grew on me really quickly. And I grew to really like this funky taste. Kind of went away after a while. I don't know. It's been a while since I smoked it. I'm going back and revisiting some stuff from last summer, and it's not the same. It's not hitting me like it was before. Which is okay. Like, it happens, right? It changes. But it's a little disappointing. This one was a favorite. I can't believe that I'm just over a year, a little over a year of smoking a pipe already. Going through these blends, thinking about them and the changes that your nose goes through. It's crazy. It's crazy how fast time flies. It's crazy that it's been 3 years that I've been working on this wedding. Working on building a life with my wife now. It's crazy to say that I have a wife. It's beautiful. It feels amazing. I'm very, 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 very blessed, and I'm thankful. It's just, it's amazing how fast things can change and how drastically they can change in such a short amount of time, you know? But I haven't stopped smoking a pipe. I still shit. I shit. I still shit too. But I still sit in this shed. I don't shit in the shed. I sit in the shed and shit in the house. But I am still doing both sitting and shitting. And enjoy it. I don't enjoy the shitting so much. The sitting is good. But I haven't had time to talk to this camera and do this thing in a long time. It's been really, really busy. It's been crazy. Everybody goes through a period where you don't have time to do the whole thing with the videos, and it seems like every third video I'm saying it's super busy. I've been really busy, but I'll be back. But I have been busy, and here I am. I'm back to talk some more, ramble in my shed. There will not be any shitting, I promise. But we've had everything from tornadoes to hailstorms to floods, ice storms. We've had it all. It's been crazy here. A hailstorm came through recently with hail the size of softballs in some places. Here, it was about the size of golf balls. Looks like a giant walked past the house with a shotgun and just unloaded, man. Just went nuts. It was, I don't get scared by weather very easily. This was kind of spooky. It's kind of weird. But the weather's nice now, and so I can sit in the shed with the door open, and it's got me, it reminds me of when I first turned on this camera just a year ago and started talking to it, and the blends that I was smoking then, the pipes that I got then, and I'm going through all this stuff. I've got my cellar pretty well stocked, man. I don't want for any tobaccos. My cellar is packed. It's crazy how much tobacco I have in there, and how many pipes I've got. It's great. Again, I'm blessed. I'm going through all these things and I'm thinking about them, and I came across this pipe that I wanted to. This is kind of a dual purpose thing. I want to both talk about it and ask about it. I was in Arizona last year, and I was all over the place, but I was in Scottsdale one day, and I bought this pipe. I didn't bring my pipes out there with me. Every time I get the opportunity to go somewhere else, especially a big city, I'll try and buy a souvenir pipe and some local tobaccos if I can. And so I went to a wonderful store called Stag Tobacconist in Scottsdale, Arizona, kind of the north end of the valley. They have a good, you can call them up and they'll sell you the blends that they've got. They had a really good English called John Kent's English, which is one of my favorite house blends that I've tried so far. Also a good kind of an aromatic thing called My Blend that you can get. I talked to the owner, whose name escapes me right now, and he said you can call him and he'll ship it to you. You can call him and ask him. Stag Tobacconist, Scottsdale, Arizona. You can call him and ask him and he'll ship it to you. Well, I'm in that store looking for a souvenir pipe, an Arizona pipe. And at that point, I hadn't spent this much money on one, so it was kind of a big deal to me. I bought this Eric Nording. I picked this thing up. He had, I don't know how many, maybe a couple hundred pipes. I don't know how many he had, but it was a lot. I picked this thing up, and it was one of those where, it talked to me. And immediately when I picked it up, I knew that's the one. I'm not gonna lie to you. I probably spent like an hour in his shop just talking to him and looking over the pipes and agonizing over details like this hat. But pipe related details. Trying to figure out which one's the right one, because I'd never spent, I think I paid $110 for this thing. And at that point I'd never spent anything like that. So it was a big deal. And I finally, I picked it up, and as soon as I held it, I knew that's the one. That's it. I heard a voice in my head say, "That's the one." And at that point, it didn't matter what I thought about it. I was going to buy this pipe. So I brought it back to the hotel and I smoked it. I don't remember what I packed in there. And it burned hotter than the hinges on the gates of hell. This thing was immediately just roasted, toasted, man. Super hot. Of course, it was the desert and it's like 115 degrees outside anyways, so that probably factored in. But I thought, man, I've got, another 2 weeks at that point of travel. I could not destroy this brand new pipe. I had to get something that I could smoke without babying it, worrying too much about it. So I went back in there the next day. I wish I could remember this guy's name. Rick, I think. I think his name was Rick. I went back in and I said, I'd like to buy another pipe. Something a little less expensive than that one. And he showed me his options. I spent this time about 20 or 30 minutes agonizing over every detail until I saw another one that jumped out at me. And this was in a basket of estate pipes that had been very well cleaned. They were all in great shape. None of the pipes, we're going to call him Rick. I'm going to say his name is Rick. None of the pipes that Rick had were in bad shape. They were all good pipes. But he's got this one that just looks really unique. The grain pattern on it was something I hadn't seen before. And I asked him about it, and it kind of resembled, to me it kind of resembled a poker, and I liked that shape a lot, and I didn't have a poker at that point. And because I was traveling, I only had one pipe rest to use. One of these guys here. So it would be nice to have a sitter. And this one fit the bill. And on the bottom of this pipe, this is the one. Look at that ring. Oh yeah, you can see that well. Look at the grain on that thing. Look at that. Look at that thing. Just really, really pretty wood grain. Really pretty, man. A stout stem. See that thing? And on the bottom, I saw that it said, Doran, USA. I thought it was Doran. Doran, USA 2022. Gonna try to get this to show. Will it show? There it is. And I asked him about it. And Rick says, yeah, I thought, because it's out in the Southwest, and this thing looks very similar to the kind of artwork that you would see by like local artisans, craft people, workers, stuff, things in the desert. They do this kind of an aesthetic, this kind of a look. And I thought maybe, the wood it doesn't look like briar. I couldn't figure out what it was. He didn't know what kind of wood it was. It's a non-filtered pipe, right? And I asked him, I thought it's like a local artist in the Phoenix area. Who is Doran? And he said, well, I looked it up, and he said, I think it's a guy named Brian Doran. And he said, it looks like one of his pipes. So I bought it. I said, I'll take it. This looks like a pretty, it spoke to me, man. It talked to me. I brought it back to the hotel, and I look up Brian Doran pipes, and after a little bit of digging, I find this article where someone had a picture of him and had his YouTube name, and it turns out it's Beans316, who I follow and who I had been watching this guy's videos for a while. and knew that he made pipes. He's based in West Virginia, if I'm not mistaken. And I thought, what are the odds that I would go all the way to Arizona and find one of Beans 316's pipes in a basket out there? I think I paid 50 or 60 bucks for it, something like that. And it was amazing. It blew my mind. Like this whole, like, to stumble across something like that. As far as I'm aware, you have to buy it directly from him if you want one of his pipes. I don't think that he sells them through any vendors. It was so somebody bought this pipe and it made its way out there and into my hands. And I purchased it, you know, after watching this guy's videos and laughing and, you know, look at it, all that stuff. I can't do the high voice he does. Would you look at it? Look at it. Look at it. Like, I laughing my ass off at this guy's videos, and then I inadvertently purchased one of his pipes in this shop. It was cool, man. So this became my workhorse pipe on the road. And after I got off the road and back home, that carried on. I have since read on his website that he makes, I think he said, tough pipes or blue-collar pipes for blue-collar people, something like that. He says they are made to be freight trained, and boy, can you freight train this thing. The dirt on my hands, when I bought it, it was kind of a blonde color, and the oils and stuff on my hands have given it this really nice change in shade that you kind of see, you know. Man, look at the grain on that thing. See how it goes from like a blonde to more of a dark toasted red almost, and then back. You know, it's just beautiful the way that plug was cut, man. All the way around it wraps this diagonal pattern. It's just gorgeous. So I have, in the process of cleaning other pipes and buying pipes and trying different tobaccos, I continued to use it the way that for the purpose that I bought it for, which is just something I can beat up. I don't have to baby it and worry too much about it. And I did that without realizing that apparently that's what he designs his pipes for. Again, I think I read that on his website somewhere. And it works great for that, man. It somehow you can freight train. I don't understand I don't know if it would be ergonomics. I don't know what it would be. I don't understand how you design a pipe to function a certain way. But somehow you can freight train just about any tobacco in here without overburning it too much. I tend to put aromatics, codgers, and Virginias in it when I'm walking the dog. It's become my dog walking pipe because I don't have to think too much. I don't really like smoking a pipe while I'm doing something else. If I'm smoking, I like to sit and focus on what I'm doing, but this pipe has given me an exception. It makes it easy for me to do other things like walking the dog. Usually, that's what it is. I've found that it burns Cornell and Deal's Briar Fox very well. Smokes in this thing really well. Also, East India Trading Company's, which one was it? Officers Club. Yeah. Officers Club smokes like a dream in this thing. It's become like my number 2 or number 3 pipe, especially in warm weather. I love this thing. Beans 316, Brian, if you, I'm going to tag you in the video. I really hope that you see it, because for close to a year now, well, yeah, since July, last June or July, I've been dying to talk to you about this pipe and tell you that, what do you know, I found it. I found this thing. To me, it's a super cool story. I love it, dude. I love this thing. I'd love to know anything that you know that you might remember about this pipe. Obviously made in 2022. I'd like to know what kind of wood it is, you know. What's the stem made of? Like, do you have anything else that looks like this? Do you remember crafting this pipe? Beans, do you remember crafting this thing? You remember making this one? I don't know how many you've made, man, and maybe that's a crazy question. I think if you talk to songwriters, they all remember writing the songs. They remember every song they wrote. I think, I'm guessing, I don't know. I don't know if making pipes is the same way. Do you remember this pipe, Beans? I'd love to know. And I'd love to know what kind of wood it is. And what were your thoughts when you made this thing? How did you get that gorgeous grain like that, man? Do you have other pipes that you've done that with? Is that a process that took you a long time to figure out? I love this thing. And thank you. I want to thank you for making the pipe and for selling it to whoever you sold it to so that it wound up in my hands. I love this thing. It's a beautiful pipe. I'd love to buy another one from you one day. Anyhow, that's the story of my, I gotta scoot up here a little bit. That's the story of my Beans 316 pipe, which is, if I'm not mistaken, it's named Rick. Because I think that the proprietor of the store I think the guy's name was Rick, which would make the pipe named Rick. I've got it written down somewhere, I don't remember. Yeah, so it just kind of blew my mind, you know? So anyway, it was one of those crazy things. I thought it was a cool story. It was a cool experience. I didn't expect it, you know? It was one of those things where you feel like you're in the right place at the right time. You're right where you need to be, where you should be. All the stars are aligned and everything it's clicking, it's working just like it should to bring you to this moment where you have this perfect gift, this perfect thing that a memory that you'll have forever, you know? Just like on my wedding day when my dad told the funniest joke I've heard all year and asked me if he could buy Park Place. And I said, yeah, absolutely. But you're going straight to jail. You shall not pass go. And you ain't getting $200.